Hello everyone, welcome back to the interview. I'm your host, Susan Lee McDonald. I'm here at the Seoul Championship Baseball Stadium, ready to meet one of the most successful Western athletes to ever play in Korea. We're going to meet Doosan Bears pitcher, Dustin Nippert. So follow me as we go and interview this awesome guy. Come and follow. So I've just entered the building and I'm right in front of the Doosan Bears office, ready to meet pitcher Dustin Nippert. So join me. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm Susan.
Dustin, nice to meet you.
So good to meet you. I know who you are.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Doosan Bears baseball team.
Awesome.
And I'm so looking forward to interviewing you and finding out all about what it's like for you to be a baseball player here.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
A baseball player who has left a mark in the history of Korean professional baseball. It's none other than Dustin Nippert, who has been playing for Doosan since 2011.
Well, Dustin this year, he's 1-4. Good start for Dustin Nippert.
A promising pitcher who had 40 wins in the Major League, who came to Korea to play ball in 2011. And since then, he quickly earned himself the title of ace on his team. He is the pitcher who has true passion in baseball and leads his teammates to be in the best condition. Stay tuned to meet Dustin Nippert and to hear his story on the interview. Well, Dustin, we can finally sit down for our interview, and I'm really excited to get a chance to talk to the ace, as you're known. Or you're also known as the Jesus or God of baseball here in Korea, is that right?
I believe it's like the Jesus of Seoul or something. Yeah, I think it's more for my beard, not for my play on the field, I think. So yeah.
You're too humble. Well, you know, you have quite a resume. You've been with the Doosan Bears since 2011, right? So tell us a little bit about what it's like for you as one of the most successful Westerners to play baseball here in Korea.
I'm just really appreciative for the opportunity that like baseball has given me, I guess you could say. I mean, as a little kid, everybody I think that plays t-ball and little league want to play baseball, and that's their dream and stuff. So for me, like my dream's coming true. I get to play baseball for a living, and I'm very appreciative of that. And just coming to Korea and getting to play baseball out of the States, I guess, is another experience that. I guess as a kid, I mean, I never even thought about that. I mean, making it to the major leagues was one thing, but then just having, I guess baseball gives you different challenges, and I guess just trying to overcome those challenges is just part of the game. So I mean, but I'm really appreciative to come here to Korea, and I've loved every minute of it. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
What would you consider your rival team or your rival pitcher from another team here in Korea?
Me personally, every team I pitch against. I mean, I don't want to beat one team more than any other team. I want to beat everybody. And so, I mean, I really don't think there's one team out there that I prepare for a lot more or anything like that. I feel like I prepare for everybody the same, and I want to succeed, and I want to help my team win. So every time I take the mound, I want to be victorious, I guess.
There's got to be one person out there, or perhaps maybe a hitter in particular that you feel like, man, I really got to get him out this time because I wasn't able to last time.
I guess Byung Ho for Nexen, the first baseman, and Yu, number 9 for LG. He has been, like, I guess you'd call him my nemesis for like my whole career here. I mean, every time I can't. There was, I think, 2 years ago. I think he was hitting like 700 off me or something like that. So I mean, I was throwing everything I could at him. He always got a hit, and then he would get on first base, and I'd look at him. I would just be like, "What do I need to do? What do I need to do?" And he would laugh, and I would laugh. So I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of like a little bit of rivalry, I guess you could say, but it's always good. It's fun.
Yeah. I think that's probably also helpful to have someone that you're thinking of how you can improve your game to get out too, right?
Yeah, you always want to be I don't think baseball players, I don't think anybody is ever as good as they want to be. I think everybody always has room for improvement and stuff like that. So each day you go out there, I mean, you need to, there's always something you can learn from that game. Win or lose, I mean, if you threw a complete game shutout, I mean, there's always something you can take from that game. So I mean, it's important to keep wanting to better yourself.
The Doosan Bears is one of the favorite teams of Korean baseball, and a lot of people also are familiar with some of the movies that have come out with the Doosan Bears and the gorilla and whatnot.
Yeah, was it Mr. Go? I think
Did you ever have a chance to participate in the movie making?
No,
or
I
meet
never.
Mr. Go?
I never even knew that was coming out until like you see like this big gorilla like with the Doosan Bears jersey on and stuff like that. So I mean, I never even. I didn't even see the movie, but I thought that was definitely pretty interesting, and it's awesome here how the fans and the people are, how they support baseball and they love baseball. So I mean, it just makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah. The interesting thing about Korea is that people who are crazy about baseball are absolute like maniacs for baseball, and it's not so different from some of the Yankees fans or baseball fans back home in the States for you. What would you say are some of the major differences between the fans here versus U.S. fans?
Well, like you said, like in New York and in Philly and stuff like that, I feel like the fans, if you're a rival team, they don't have anything good to say about you. Where here, I mean, I feel like if they're fans of baseball completely. Like I've had Samsung fans, Nexen fans, all other sport or baseball team fans approach me and say like how they appreciate me and they like me and stuff like that. And so that is here. I mean, I really do appreciate that, and that something I think that is kind of overlooked. Where here, I mean, if they're baseball fans, they're baseball fans. I mean, they're passionate about their team, obviously, but they also like other players and stuff like that and appreciate what everybody does.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
So no one's throwing eggs towards you?
Well, not yet. No, not yet. I mean, they could be saying...
from a different club.
Yeah, they could be saying things I don't understand them. So, I mean, I'll just take it as compliments. I don't really know what they're saying, maybe, I guess.
Well, you've been in Korea now for 4 years. I'm sure that you've learned a little bit of Korean. How is your Korean?
Shaky at best, I would say, I guess. I kind of understand more than I can speak. Just the whole pronunciations and speaking is really hard for me. But I kind of understand. I can listen to, if I'm in a certain situation, I can listen to kind of what's going on, and I can pick up words and kind of figure out what's going on, and with hand gestures, obviously, and stuff like that.
Body language always works, right?
But speaking is really difficult for me to speak Korean, yes.
Well, even though your Korean may not be fluent, you're fluent in baseball and being a great pitcher.
Yeah, well, I mean, once you get on the field, baseball is baseball. So, I mean, playing for, I don't even know how many years I've played, but you know certain situations, and you know, like, you can kind of look at a guy and on your team, even though I can't like verbally communicate with him, I can do something, he can do something to me to kind of let each other know what's going on and what we need to do and stuff like that. So.
And that way, how do you communicate? Is it sign language?
Yeah, just kind of like hand gestures, just like kind of like a look where he'll like take his eyes somewhere and then look back at me, or I really feel like my teammates and myself are really good. We're always kind of, especially my catcher. I mean, he doesn't speak a lot of English, and obviously my Korean's bad. So, but when he comes to the mound, I mean, it always makes me kind of laugh, because he just comes out there and kind of says a few words that he knows, like calm down and stuff like that. So I always like when he comes out there, I'm like, oh, what's he going to say now and stuff like that. But it's good. It kind of calms me down, gets me out of the situation, kind of gives me a little breather, and then we go from there. But yeah, me and the catcher were always on the same page.
That's great.
Yeah.
What was the reason why you came to Korea?
Well, honestly, I didn't have a job. In 2010, the Texas Rangers, we went to the World Series, and to be honest, I never thought that they would take me off the 25-man roster or the 40-man roster. I just didn't think that would happen. And then a couple days before it was time to like start filing for salaries and stuff like that, my agent called me and said they took me off the roster. So I was like, well, now what am I going to do? I need to find a job, and I wanted to find a major league job if I was going to stay in the States. I didn't want to go back to the minor leagues and all the travel and stuff like that. And then I was approached by a few Japanese teams. We talked to them. Actually, well, before that, Doosan had approached my agent, and I didn't know anything about Korea, so I was kind of hesitant at first. And I told him, well, just kind of don't tell him no, because I'm not going to tell him no, because I just want to pursue this other way first, pursue Japan first. And I actually signed a contract to play in Japan, and then a couple of days later they let me know that they were voiding my contract. They chose another pitcher. So
they were voiding the contract.
Yeah.
That's not common, is that?
No, I had no idea what was going on. I signed the contract and was planning to go play, and they just called me and said, yeah, we're going to void your contract. So I was like almost in like panic mode, because it was approaching like spring training time, and I didn't have a job, and then. I called my agent and said, "Does Doosan, are they still interested?" And he said, "Yeah." So I was like, "Well, let's go. Let's just see what happens. Maybe it's a sign, and let's just go for it." And it's probably the best decision that I'm lucky that they were still around needing a player, and it's the best decision I've ever made. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Given that you've also decided to stay on another year with the Doosan Bears, you'll be a big part of the Doosan Bears' success record, and I'm curious why you decided to stay on with the Doosan Bears as opposed to going to another team, or I know you were given another offer by a Japanese team
I mean, I have no reason to leave Korea. I mean, honestly, I mean, for me, it means a lot for what Doosan is. I mean, I try to do a lot for them, but I mean, they have done a lot for me also. So it's not just a give, it's not just a take for me. It's give and take, and they've given me everything that I need to be successful, and I appreciate that. And I feel like in the States, it's more of like a business, and I didn't really like how that was. I guess you could say, if one guy likes you, another guy might not. So it's kind of like you're trying to please everybody. Where here, if you come and you perform, and that's it. I mean, your performance is what you strive for as an athlete. You want to be, I guess, graded on that, not as what you did or what you've done and stuff like that. It's what you are doing right now, and I just appreciate that they've given me the opportunity to keep playing here, and I love it here. So I don't have any reason to leave.
That's fantastic. And of all the games that you've pitched, what would be the most memorable game, and why?
My most memorable game would probably be the first start I ever had here in Korea, the opening day of 2011 season. It was
최장신의 투수죠.
2m 3cm입니다. 그래 농구 선수의 지금 신장이죠.
그렇죠.
지금 이 두산 베어스가 이 선수의 그는 기대는 상당히 큽니다. 앞으로거든요. 우리나라 주자들이
2구째입니다. 2루 정면 고영민 잡았습니다. 1루로 아웃됩니다.
이 패턴은 고비를 잘 넘겼어요. 지난해 메이저리그 포스트 시즌에서 활약을 했던 선수답게 상당히 안정된 그리고 흔들림 없는 피칭을 했어요.
Just the start of another chapter, I guess, in my baseball career, and it was. I'll never forget just going out and being on the mound that first time here in Korea. You just I go out and warm up and just look around, and it just kind of all hits you at once. You're in a different country, you on a whole no different team and stuff like that. But it was a great experience, and it's got this whole thing going for me, and I love it. And I'm just on along for the ride now, just enjoying every minute of it.
That's so cool. And with the Doosan Bears, you've also hired on 2 extra Western players, right?
Yes.
And I'm curious, what are they like with having worked with them for spring training, and anything you can share with us about them?
Yeah, I played with Jorge in 2010 for half a season when I was at Texas. We traded for him when we were going to the World Series, and he's a great guy. Fans are really going to like Jorge. He's really lighthearted, like a free-spirited guy, very outgoing. So he's going to get along really well here with the Korean fans, because they love that kind of stuff. They love like action and stuff like that. And Chris, I feel like he's more like me, more kind of like conserved and quiet, but great. I mean, these guys are really, I think, going to help us be successful this season, and I'm looking forward to the season starting and actually getting to watch them pitch, or watch Chris pitch and watch Jorge play and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it a lot. Yeah.
Very cool. This might be somewhat of a personal question, but do you have any really close friends on the team, whether they're Western or Korean, and who would they be?
Well, I feel like the foreign players and myself, we hang out a lot more because this isn't, well, I guess for me, I am kind of from here now, I guess you could say, but we kind of stick together because we kind of like, we have common interests, so we like certain things and stuff like that. But it's all the guys on the team. I mean, if we all hang out a lot together, and that's good because I didn't know how that would be being a foreign player coming to an all-Korean team and stuff like that, but the team's been awesome. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better team, and this is my team now. I mean, these are my friends, this is my family, so it's just like I'm very comfortable here, and I appreciate these guys very much. Yeah.
I bet they're teaching you a lot about Korean culture, and maybe there are some really funny things that go on in the locker room or just on the buses. Yeah. Can you share with us some of the fun things? The whole
Hyung Dongzang thing, I feel like they always joke with me about that, especially if they're older than me. They joke me like, hey, do this for me, hey, do that for me. But then I joke with them, if they're younger than me, I always like, hey, well, you got to do this for me now, you got to do that for me. But they're really good about not being too forceful with the culture and stuff about that. But I want to be involved as much as I can and stuff like that, but they understand we're American and our cultures are separate and different and stuff like that. But I appreciate the Korean culture and really the values that it kind of teaches the younger guys. That, I mean, in the States it is, I mean, if it's someone who's older than you, you're supposed to take care of them and stuff like that. So I mean, I do appreciate that, and it's good. Very
cool. Now, with the 2 foreign players who are coming on board, what kind of advice have you given them about living in Korea, playing for Doosan, and any warnings that you give them as well?
Not really any warnings, just I just kind of tell all the new players that come in. I mean, I've had so many. So I've been here this is my 4th season, so there's been so many guys change and to come in and out and stuff. But I just try to tell guys, just be themselves. Don't, just because you're in a new place, you don't have to be somebody else. Like, Doosan wanted you for a reason. They wanted you because of what you were doing and who you are. You don't have to come here and be somebody else, reinvent yourself. Just be yourself. I mean, it's baseball, it's a game. Let's go out and have fun and just let it go.
Very cool.
Yeah.
With the opening game of the new season just around the corner, the Doosan Bears prepared themselves by competing in a practice game during the spring camp. They were scheduled to play against Hanwha Eagles. They began their intensive training, dividing themselves into 2 groups, pitchers and fielders. Among the players on the field, Dustin Nippert and the newly recruited Chris Volstad stood out, especially because of their towering physiques. Volstad began warming up, throwing a ball in front of his senior teammate. These 2 seemed quite close, although they've only known each other for just a few months, and we approached them for a quick interview.
Hey guys! Hey, good to see you, Dustin. Hi, Chris, right? Good to meet you. Any words of advice for the fans who will be coming out to watch you guys? Anything that you're hoping that they can kind of give to you as you give back to them if you're playing?
Bring the energy, I guess. Yeah. We feed off that, you know, when they get excited during the game, we get excited too, so. Just be energetic, be into the game. We love it.
Yeah, and that's one good thing about here in Korea. I mean, if we're winning 10-0 or losing 10-0, the fans are, until the last out's made, the fans are in it. I mean, like in the States, I mean, if the home team's losing, like the fans are just, I mean, they'll be leaving during the game and stuff. Or here, I mean, they stick it out until the last out's made. So I mean, that definitely helps us, like, that they're with us win or lose and stuff. You know, they're not like fair weather fans. They're with us till the end. So I mean, that definitely makes you feel good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I know that you guys are now headed off to do some more work. So
yeah, never ending.
Something to do all the time.
Absolutely. Well, it's a beautiful day. Good luck, guys. It's great. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Appreciate it.
The pitcher and catcher teamwork is especially crucial in a game, and catcher Kim Jae-hwan came to see him.
때려가 뭐예요? Hits me.
This is how Nippert breaks down the language barrier, and he becomes closer with his teammates.
Thank you.
Nippert truly cares for every single fan that comes to see him. He has a strong fan base, not only because of his talent, but also because of his good character and warm personality. Dustin Nippert, the ace of Doosan Bears. He is the bridge between Korean and foreign players that keeps the team strong. I wish him continued success in the 2014 season and hope to see him on the mound in the finals.
What is it like for you when the Korean crowds are kind of rooting for you and for Doosan? Like,
It's
what is
awesome.
that feeling, if you could
It's
describe
awesome.
it?
I mean, I don't show a lot of emotion when I'm on the field, and I mean, obviously fans have seen me kind of blow up a couple times, but when I'm not doing so well, but I hear the fans, and I want them to know that I do hear that, and I do appreciate it. It does kind of give me a little bit more energy when they're excited and going for, like, rooting for us, and it just makes the whole atmosphere just a lot more fun to play in. And even if we're away, I feel like one of the favorite visiting teams to play is in Lotte. The fans there, I mean, they're always going crazy, and I love that atmosphere. They're cheering, they want their team to do well, and obviously we want to do well. So that whole atmosphere where it's just like loud and going crazy the whole time, that's a lot of fun to play in. I like that a lot.
Nice. You know, you had a complete game win last year, right?
Yes.
And that's a pretty awesome record, no?
It was fun. That was one of the colder days in the season last year. It was against Kia, and I think I gave up a home run in the 9th inning, and the pitching coach came out. I think he was getting a little bit nervous. He came out and told me, like, hey, let's go. I need to get one more out. So I was lucky enough to get the last out, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
And pitching from the first to the last innings, is that always a good feeling?
Yeah, I mean, every time you go out there, you wanna as a starting pitcher, you want to go out there and stay in the game as long as you can, so the bullpen doesn't have a heavy workload. I feel like myself personally, I try to go out and I want to stay in the game as long as I can, because I don't want the bullpen to be overworked and stuff like that. I try to want to help them, give them rest, because they need rest. I mean, those guys be pitching 3-4 days in a row. So when I can give them rest, I really want to do that. And if I have to pitch an extra inning or throw a couple extra pitches to do that, then I'm more than willing to do that, and just so everybody can be successful and do their job to the highest of their ability.
Now let's talk a little bit about some of the games that you've been involved in that were somewhat memorable. I mean, I'm sure every game is memorable, but some are maybe more memorable than others. So let's start with the big gun, the 2013 Korean Series.
Yes, we were winning 3-1 with one more game to win with 3 games to play. So I guess you could say our expectations were pretty high, and looking back now, I think we got a little bit too confident and a little bit too comfortable with what we were doing, and we kind of just gave Samsung a little bit of the breathing room that they needed, and they're a great team. I mean, you give them any kind of breathing room, and obviously they took advantage of it, and they swept us the last 3 games, and they won the Korean Series. So it's just my hats off to them because they did that, but it's also a little bit disappointing that we had them, and we let them go. So it's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. I believe everything happens for a reason, and we'll just chalk it up to another experience, I guess.
I'm sure that there's a lot of wisdom gained by being a pro baseball player, and the ups and downs. I mean, if there's an up, there has to be a down too, right?
Exactly.
But what you were saying was that by the 4th game, you guys were pretty confident.
We were pretty up. We were pretty high, yes. We were pretty high.
What do you think happened between Game 4 and Game 6? Because in Game 6, what was the score again?
The Game 6, I think we lost like 8 to. I think I gave up like 7 or 8 runs. So I mean, that's really not.
And 3 home runs.
Yes, 2 or 3 home runs. Yeah, not a good day.
Yeah.
Not a good day.
How does that feel when that happens?
It feels terrible, especially at that stage of the Korean Series. I felt like my teammates were looking to me to step in and do what I do, and I wasn't able to do that, and that was big because I feel like I let them down and everything like that. So that was really disappointing that I couldn't be the guy I wanted to be to step up and get us the win we needed, and it just didn't happen. just didn't happen.
Now, when things like that happen, do you feel that you were really hard on yourself, or others going to make their disappointment known to you? Was there ever any trouble afterwards behind closed doors?
No, I feel every time I take the mound, my coaches and my teammates, they know that I'm doing everything I can, and I hope they feel comfortable enough that if they ever do see me, they think I'm not, then I want them to say something to me. But every time I take the mound, I'm doing everything I can to get us a win and do my job and stuff. So no, I mean, after that, we got beat. Yeah. We got beat. It's just the way it was.
Now, speaking of pitches, I think we have a baseball that maybe we can bring over here, and I'd love to learn a little bit about how to throw the ball. Now, I am so bad at throwing balls. Maybe you can help save me.
Yeah,
and help me to throw.
Just like the most typical pitch in baseball is probably a 4-seam fastball, and you just count that by the seams, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you just hold it just across the seams.
Okay.
And that's pretty much just a straight pitch, just a straight fastball. And then there's other variations of that, like a 2-seam fastball, because now this is only the 2 seams that it's cutting the wind. Okay. So it's a 2-seam fastball, and the guys throw this for more of like a sinking pitch or something like that. And there's also a cut fastball, but I don't throw that, so I don't know how you hold it or anything like that.
Okay. So there's the 4-seam.
4-seam, and you count that by how the ball's turning.
Got it.
So there's 4 seams going around.
Okay.
And then this is a 2-seam, and you can hold it this way or this way, and that's just there's 2 seams going around.
Okay.
So there's that, and then a curveball. Guys hold curveballs like this, and then when you throw a fastball, your wrist is just straight up and down. You throw a curveball. I throw a knuckle curve. So you're trying to like turn the ball and get on top of it.
Like a knuckle.
Yeah, you like your knuckles into. Guys will throw curveballs like this. I mean, everybody. Honestly, there's so many different ways. Everybody is different. Like. You just got to find out, just kind of keep throwing, hold it different ways, or you might have to offset your hand a little bit or anything like that to get it to work for you, because if I throw this and it works for me as a sinker, another guy might throw it and it might be straight. So there's different variations, like you have to like move your hands around, your fingers, and like different pressure you need to put with each finger and stuff to make it go a certain way.
Wow.
So.
Now, did you learn all of these different ways of throwing the ball from when you were in junior high and high school, or
when I was in high school, it's just you just throw a fastball and just let it go. Just let it eat. So I threw a fastball and then a curveball. My dad taught me a curveball. Then I always threw a curveball like this, and then one of his friends said that he threw a knuckle curve when he was in high school. So my dad just told me to try it, and I've been throwing it ever since I was in high school. But those are the main 2 pitches that I threw in high school, and then even coming up in pro ball, I threw those a lot. And then finally, I learned to change up. Most guys will hold. This is like the same, like a 4-seam change up. They'll hold it like that, or there's a 2-seam change up
with their 3rd and 4th finger. Okay.
Yeah, that's just kind of these fingers aren't as strong, obviously, so that'll be, and you hold it. I hold mine really loose, where it's almost like falling out. That way, the speed is less. You don't want it to be as hard as your fastball. So. Yeah, so I used to throw a 4-seam, and then finally I just got to the point where I would just turn it a little bit in my hand, and now that works for me. But other guys, they might not work for them. So yeah, you just gotta keep messing with it. There's just get a hold of it and just go out and play catch and throw it and see what it does. Yeah.
I bet you can do this kind of in your sleep, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I never really, you don't think about it. I mean, like because it's just what I do. I mean, it's like, it's just instinct. As soon as it's in my glove, I try to grab for a 4-seam just to throw it, just to the first baseman or second baseman or whatever, so.
And all the pitches are determined by you and the catcher.
Yes.
And you have your signals to determine what you're going to do.
Yes.
And how do you know when to throw a fastball as opposed to a curveball, as opposed to a slower ball? Is that just based on the guy who's coming up to hit?
Just depends on the hitter, and depends on how I'm feeling, I guess. And then also, if the catcher sees something because he's right beside the hitter. Like if he sees the hitter like set up a different way or turn his body a certain way, then that hitter might be looking for a certain pitch. So then he'll see that and then he'll tell me like, hey, this might be a good idea.
I see.
And then we'll just kind of go from there. So it's, I mean, it's just my feeling and the catcher's feeling and what the hitter's doing is what dictates what pitch we throw.
Interesting. Wow. Well, that's so fascinating to learn all the different kinds of grips.
Yeah, there's a lot more. I mean, there's some pitches I don't even know. So it's great. I mean, I've been playing for so long that I don't even know how to hold some pitches.
And what's your favorite ways to throw?
I like throwing fastball. I just like throwing my fastball. So yeah, I like it a lot, and hitters know that. So yeah.
Now, is it different now? I know you have to raise up your knee and all that.
Yeah.
Is there a different way that you raise up your knee as opposed to some other pitcher?
I don't know. The hitters, my teammates, always make fun of me of how I do my wind-up. So it feels comfortable to me, but they always make fun of me how I do it. So it's just, I guess everybody's different, but they think it's pretty funny how I do it, I guess. So I don't know.
What do you think is funny about it, or what do they think
how
is funny
I
about
put
it?
my leg down. I don't know. They always say that I'm always messing with my pants and stuff too because I don't know. So.
Thank you so much for showing us all the different ways to possibly throw
no
the
problem.
ball.
I still need to learn, I guess, a few more ways so I can be a better teacher, I guess.
Well, given that I have, zero experience, it definitely helps me a lot.
Okay.
So Dustin, I'd like to ask you now about how this all began. Where are you from stateside? How did you get involved in baseball? We want to know everything about your childhood.
Yeah.
So do tell.
I'm from a really small town. I'm from Ohio, obviously. I live in the country. I'm a country boy. Grew up on a cattle farm and just raise cattle, and then when you do that, you obviously play sports. The main sports in my school were basketball, baseball, and football. So you played sports, you hunted, you fished, and that's just what everybody did. So yeah.
Wow. So as a kid, when did you first pick up a baseball? Do you remember?
I can't remember the first day I picked up, but I just remember in my mom and dad's house there's just pictures of me and my twin brother just in our little baseball uniforms and baseballs, and that's what we did. We played sports and did everything.
So you and your twin brother both are obviously very athletic, and you went to the major leagues and he went to the minor leagues, is that right?
Yes.
So,
yeah, I was drafted in 2002, and he was drafted the next year in 2003 by the same team, Arizona. So that was really special for us to, not only are we from a small town, but now we get to we've experienced everything with baseball growing up to that point, and now we get to experience professional baseball together, and that was just awesome. Just a great time for us, just being able to just spend more time together and stuff like that was really cool.
That's so cool. Now, are you identical twins?
Identical, yes ma'am. Yeah.
That is so interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Are you easily kind of distinguishable, or?
No. We are identical twins. If people see me, they think they see him, or it's vice versa. So even my grandma, she still gets confused sometimes when she sees us. So yeah, it's pretty cool. We can kind of play tricks on people and stuff.
Now, how do I know that you're Dustin and not your brother? Substituting.
I guess you'll never know. I guess.
It could be. Now, your brother's name is
Derek.
Derek.
Yes.
So it could be Derek.
Could be.
And
yeah.
If Dustin is sick or hurt, then maybe Derek can substitute.
He can step in and just keep the thing going. Yeah, nobody, I guess, will ever know. If it's worked that good this far, so I'm not going to tell anybody now. So yeah.
That's too funny. Well, that might be an advantage, right? Like if you guys wanted to prolong your career in baseball.
He's at home right now doing something, and if I'm tired, I'm like, hey, you gotta come take over for me for a couple of weeks, and I'll go home and get some rest, and he'll come and play. So yeah, nobody would ever know, I guess.
Maybe that's the secret to your success.
Maybe. We'll never know. We'll never know.
That's so funny. Now you have a younger brother that's much younger, by what, 15, 16 years?
15, 16 years, yes.
Unexpected?
Yes, kind of a oops, but great oops. I'll still remember the day my mom and dad told me that my mom was pregnant, and we're just like, are you serious? And here comes my little brother, and it's just it's been awesome. He's a great kid, and obviously we give him a hard time for being the youngest, and he's mommy's baby and stuff like that. But he's a good kid, and he really likes baseball just as much as we do. So.
And now he's finishing up high school, is that right?
He'll be graduating this spring. Yes. So.
Does he have dreams for baseball?
He does.
As well?
He wants to play baseball, and I actually just found out a couple days ago he's going to have shoulder surgery. So hopefully everything will go fine with that, and then he can continue on either to college, or we'll see what. I mean, you never know with baseball. We'll see what happens. So yeah, hopefully good things are still would come for him.
And what kind of advice would you give your younger brother, given that he has dreams to play baseball, or anyone for that matter who really dreams of becoming a professional baseball player?
Just anybody that wants to do anything. I mean, just don't tell anybody you can't do something. I mean, just if you dream it and work hard, and it can happen. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I'm a pretty good example. I mean, I had teachers and people telling me my whole life that you're never going to be a professional baseball player. It's never going to happen. People from my area or my town,
really?
Yeah, we don't do that. You need to find something else and stuff. So it was just crazy, yeah. And I didn't give up, and I just worked hard, and here I am.
Now, why do you think it was that they were so negative?
I don't know if it was the fact they were negative. I just think that they wanted me to not get my hopes too high, and then have them all come crashing down. But people I think they always ask, well, why? Well, I ask, why not? Why not me? You know, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I'm a person too, so why not? So I just give everything I got and keep working hard.
Well, I'm sure that a lot of people around you are inspired by your positive attitude, and that's probably one of the reasons why you're so loved on your team as well. I'm curious now, you were talking about your entrance into baseball and professional baseball with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you showed a pretty solid run with them for a number of years. What was your experience like with them?
With Arizona, it was nothing but, I mean, I look back at all my experiences, and I only remember good things. If it was a bad experience, I mean, I take what I can learn from it, and I learn from it. But I don't dwell on bad things. Like you said, I'm a positive person, and being drafted by Arizona, them giving me a chance to play professional baseball was awesome. I mean, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that they drafted me and stuff. And then I kind of forced their hand to trade me in 2008 because they wanted me to stay with the team, but I wasn't performing like I should have been, and I kind of just let things just overwhelm me a little bit and get out of hand, and they traded me to Texas, and that was just another chapter in baseball, but it happens. So, but I didn't hold any grudges. I wasn't upset that they did that. It was just that I wasn't performing like I should have been, and that was a consequence. So. And
when was your debut as a pitcher?
It was the date I think was September 8th, 2005. Yeah, 2005 with Arizona against the Pittsburgh Pirates. That was really awesome because Pittsburgh is the closest major city to my hometown where I grew up, and to be able to make my debut there was really special, really special.
Did you see your family out in the crowd? And
yeah, it was. I might actually get emotional with this, but it was really cool. Just to have my family there for that day.
Seems like family means a lot to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've supported you a lot with all of the training from when you were a kid, yeah?
Yeah. Can we stop for a second?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry.
That's okay. Family is so important, especially for any of us who try to pursue something so kind of different and difficult.
Yeah.
And I wonder for you, do you think that you'd be here right now had your parents and brother kind of not supported you through childhood? And
probably not. No, I mean my mom and dad were always running us. Like if we wanted to play baseball, we wanted to do this, they were always, yeah, here, do it. They never told us no, we don't have time or we don't have the money to do that. They made sacrifices so me and my brother and sisters could do what we wanted to do. So yeah, it was. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
That's really great. What would you consider one of the most important values in a family?
It's for everybody to just be who they are and not try to be something you're not. You know what I mean? I'm a country boy from the small town in Ohio. I mean, people can call me a redneck, whatever, but just be who you are and don't let what situation you're in dictate who you are. Just be yourself, and that's one thing I feel it's really important. Yeah.
Do you think your family and your parents and your brother really helped to keep you grounded in that way?
Yeah, I feel like it's just how, I mean, it's just, I don't feel like they really try to do that. It's just how it was. I mean, we're from the country. We don't expect people to, we're self-sustaining, I guess you could say. If we need something, we work hard to get it or something like that. So yeah, I feel like I don't want anything given to me. If I earn something, then yeah, I want it. But if I don't deserve it, then I don't want it. I feel like if I work hard to accomplish what I need to accomplish. So yeah.
Well, you've worked so hard to get to this point, Dustin, and I know that the Korean fans really appreciate what you've done, because you've been tireless. You know, every single practice, every single game, you give it your all, and I think that's what people see in you. And I'm sure that that's what people saw in you even when you were back in the States. And when you did make that debut, you know, against the Pittsburgh Pirates, did you sense at that point that you've made the right decision in making sacrifices for baseball?
I've never one time regretted anything that I've done to get to the point where I've done. I mean, I have made sacrifices, and my family has had to make sacrifices for me to be here. So I hope they don't regret it, because I don't, because it's led me to where I am, and just being able to be here and just keep playing. I mean, we play a game for a living. I mean, let's just be honest. We play a game for a living, and we're paid a lot of money to do that. So we are expected to perform because we are paid a lot of money to do that. But at the end of the day, we're playing a game. I mean, it's what it is. And games are supposed to be fun. If you're out there and you hate what you're doing, and any job, if you hate what you're doing, I would suggest trying to find something that you love doing, because I'm lucky enough to play baseball and do what I love, and I'm very blessed, and I don't think there's any way or any reason that I could ever regret anything. So, if
you didn't choose baseball, I'm sure you get to ask this question sometimes, but if you didn't choose baseball, what do you think you'd be doing?
Honestly, if I didn't choose baseball, I'd probably be home right now with my brother, just like working around, finding a job there, or
still on the cattle ranch, maybe.
Yeah. It's just maybe have cattle. I mean, after baseball, we want to have cattle. I mean, when baseball is done, I'm going to be a cattle farmer. I'm not going to get away from that. I'm going to have a cattle farm and raise my kids with that and stuff like that. So, but the job that I would have right now, honestly, who knows? Who knows? I mean, it could be anything. But I honestly, because there's not a lot of jobs to choose from, but who knows? Who knows?
Switching topics just a little bit, in 2010 you suffered an injury, and I'm wondering how that affected you when you were looking for new jobs and when you were back in the States.
That was just kind of a freak injury. Nobody plans on getting hit in the head with a line drive, but it happened.
second best record they've ever had through 92 games. Hot shot, look out! Oh, Dustin Nippert. We hope is okay. That ball hit him. He's nodding. And the ball is played back in. The runner's going to be at second base. Thank goodness he's conscious. Wow. That could have been unbelievably bad. Here's your first look at it.
And it's just another obstacle.
So dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally hit on the side of the head.
Yeah, and I was lucky I was able to walk off. I mean, because I've seen pitchers get hit and maybe carted off and taken to the hospital and stuff like that. So, I mean, I feel like I was lucky, but it's just, it happened. It is what it is. And
you had to be on kind of rest for 15 days afterwards, is that right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it was a freak accident. I was just kept getting dizzy spells and headaches and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's kind of like no protocol for everybody's different in that kind of situation. But the trainers and the doctors were really good and took really good care of me and it allowed me to continue to play. So, yeah.
Well, thankfully you recovered from that. And do you feel that there's any repercussions from that or any reverberating issues?
I mean, recent, like the couple weeks after it happened, I was having headaches and dizzy spells and stuff like that. But since I've stepped back on the mound, then no, there's been no instances since then from that. Yeah.
Last but not least, and there are so many more questions that I want to ask you, but for time considerations, and I know that you have to go and start practicing.
Yes.
I'm going to have to let you go, sadly. But I do want to ask you two questions. One is, what kind of advice would you give to baseball fans, not only in Korea but around the world, in terms of how to kind of enjoy the game, and just any advice to them?
Just be passionate, I guess. Just continue to just support your teammate, your team and your the players that you really like and stuff. A lot of the players might not say that they recognize the fans when they're cheering, but we hear it. I mean, we do appreciate it, and we appreciate the support we get. So even if you think your cheers are going unheard, believe me, that we hear them and we do appreciate it. Yeah.
That's great. And what does baseball mean to you?
Everything. I mean, just giving me the opportunity to play a game for a living. I mean, I'm blessed. And I just try to be humble because, I mean, it could be taken away every day. So I just try to go out every day and just have fun, like I said. I mean, it's a game, and I want to have fun, and I just appreciate every moment and every memory that this game has given me, and I never take it for granted, and just always respect it and just have fun with it. Yeah, it means everything to me.
Great.
Yeah.
Dustin, you've been a joy to have on my show. Thank you so much for being on the interview, and I look forward to going and being one of those crazy people cheering for you guys.
Well, I'll be listening. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
For the opening game of the 2014 baseball season, Dustin Nippert has once again been selected as a starting pitcher. Enthusiastic fans from all over Korea cheered Nippert on as he helped his team win. The ace of the team, Dustin Nippert, has led them to victory today. Coming from a foreign land, after having to face adversity in the past, we all now look forward to great success as Dustin Nippert shows what he's truly made of.